everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So today we're going to address the subject of what if the power goes out. We were actually faced with that this week. We got a notice to say our power was going to go out and it was going to be off for about 8 to 10 hours. Whilst maybe it would not normally be an issue, where we live is extremely hot, and so when we have no air conditioning running, our house gets very hot very fast. And if it had been out for that length of time, we probably realistically would have reached 95 to 100 degrees plus, and obviously that is really warm. Now for us ourselves, obviously we did cope with that, but I was really worried about the tanks, especially with the fact that there would have been no water movement, and the goldfish in particularly, because they do require a lot of surface water movement. So we decided to get a product, and I'm going to show you what we got today, and I'm going to show you the tests that we run and how it worked for us. Thankfully, the power didn't end up going out. It turned out that the notice that we received was a courtesy notice because it might have happened, although the notice did actually say it was going to go out. However, it turned out they could do all the work without turning the power off. So, I mean, that was really good. But it did get me thinking about, okay, what if this did happen? Periodically, our power will go out for maybe an hour or two, and it's not too bad. During that time it is okay with the tanks, and the temperature does get very hot in the house, but because the bigger tanks take a lot longer to warm up, it's not too bad. So I wanted something that would create a lot of water movement, and that would obviously help, and I would have also probably added in some cooler water into the tanks if necessary. So let's take a look at what I got and how it performed for us.
So we got the Marina Battery powered air pump, and we did get 3 of them because there were 3 tanks in particular that I was worried about if the power had gone out. We got this on Amazon, and I will leave a link in the description box below. The reason we chose this one, the reviews were really good, and as you can see, you can actually use it in a variety of different circumstances. So I thought that it would be good for it to be versatile. And the only thing I will say is, in the reviews, a lot of people were saying how noisy it was, but I decided that that really didn't matter because it was only for emergency use. So the item itself is definitely very compact. It does require batteries, obviously, for it to work. It did come with the air stone and the air tubing, so that was really good, although I do think that the air tubing is a little short. However, it did work in the tanks, but I think that I probably, if I was going to be using them for maybe a longer period of time, then I would probably get some different tubing because it really is very short. It does take 2 batteries to work, and they are the D size, so we actually bought a pack of 12 because we didn't know how long one set of batteries were going to work. The item as a whole is extremely compact. I did find it was quite heavy once the batteries had gone in, but I suppose that's to be expected. Once it was all closed up, I then added the tubing, and all you then do is basically switch it on. It really is that simple, and I did find that it is very noisy, but like I say, I guess it really doesn't matter. It's only for a temporary measure, and it would only be used for a short amount of time probably, as when our power typically goes out, it's only out for maybe 1 to 2 hours. So these will fill that gap, which is really good, especially for the goldfish tank. So let's go and take a look at it in the aquarium, and let's see just how powerful it actually is. I guess you could also add a valve to this so that you could control the flow, or you could maybe even use one with 2 air stones, because we did find that it actually is very powerful. I just sat the little device on top of the tank, and the tubing then went into the tank. I did find, because the tubing had been so tightly curled up in the package, that all it wanted to do is keep curling round and coming back up out of the water. So I did find a little suction cup and added that on, and then that took care of the problem. When I switched it on, I was quite surprised how powerful it was. I do actually think that if you were to get the lever with a 2-way splitter, then I do think that this would power on 2 tanks if you had 2 next to each other. I do think it's that powerful. I did run a test on the battery, and even after 10 hours it was still running just as fast and just as strong. So I do think that this will probably go on for a long time. After the 10 hours I did turn it off because, like I say, it was very noisy, but there was no change in flow at all after that 10 hours. So it would be interesting if I was to continue to test it, but I'm not sure if I would do that. As you can see, a lot of water movement at the top, and that's what you're wanting, especially if power's out and your tanks are going to get really hot. This will really help with the gas exchange. So I am really happy with this product. I do think that for us, where power does go out fairly regularly, this will be a good option and I don't have to stress anymore. Let me know in the comments box below if your power goes out regularly and what you do to take care of that issue. We will be doing a live stream at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, so if you want to come and hang out with us, it would be good to see you there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed to this channel and would like to see more videos like this, then please do so. If you haven't hit that notification bell and you want to know when we upload, then go ahead and press that too. Alright guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.